Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the President of the United Architects of the Philippines Dubai chapter from 2018 to present, please welcome Architect Christian Vasquez. Architect Christian Vasquez, UAP LED International Association, AI.
In 1942, Albert Einstein was teaching at Oxford University. Then one day, binigyan niya na exam yung physics students niya. And he was walking on the campus with his assistant. And all of a sudden, the assistant looked at Albert Einstein and said, Dr. Einstein, this exam, di ba yan yung binigay mong exam sa kanila nung, 1 year ago? Yeah. Albert Einstein said, yes, that's exactly the same. But Dr. Einstein, how could you possibly do that? The assistant said. Well, said Albert Einstein, the answers have changed. The answers have changed. In other words, what is true for 1942 is even more true for today. We live in a world where the questions might be the same, but the answers have changed. In other words, what got you here will no longer get you there. And if you want to have a result which you had never had before, well, you need to start doing things you never done before. Now, the key question for today is, of course, is there a way that each of us can do impossible things to truly great dramatic result? And the good news is, the answer to that question is yes. People always ask me, Christian, how is it that you get such fast result in culture change in your chapter? And I always tell them, you are asking the wrong question. See, the question is not how fast, because that's actually part of the solution. The question is, how can you keep sustainable organizational culture change in an organization? And the reason is because most of the time, when we try some kind of an initiative in our chapter or organization, there are a couple of things that happen. Number one, member goes, oh, not another one. And of course, the other one is that they come up with all of these people at the top, the officers, and they come up with all of these brilliant ideas. And they forget to ask the members. That matters, the ones that they're going to quote change. See, we are in the PFB era, the post-Facebook era. You know, yung hawak mo yung mobile phone mo and then suddenly it's like, nag-send ako ng message like 10 minutes ago at wala pang reply. Ano, may problema ba? May nangyari kayo masama sa kanya? Or that email hasn't been replied for almost like 4 hours ago. I think we should follow up. See, we are less patient than we used to be. And we need to have things now. We are looking for instant gratification, instant change, instant solution, instant answer. We were once an architecture student. We love instant pancit canton. So therefore, if we don't see some kind of a change, we immediately assume, oh, well, I'm just wasting my time. And this brings us back to the idea that members resist change. Do you believe that members resist change? Because I don't think so. If somebody show up at your door and say, hello, mom, sir, we have a check for 1 million pesos and it's going to change your life, would you say, no. Thank you. Okay, I'm fine. Thank you so much. No, we don't resist change. What we resist is stupid stuff. We are resisting the idea that if I'm wasting my time and not getting a result, then I should be doing the same, something else, or I should be doing the same things that I've been doing for long time in order to keep the same result. On the other hand, when you start changing something and you know that it's actually giving you the result, and then you embrace it, you accept it, and that is one of the key factors. Show the result absolutely quickly. So members can start, getting excited about the culture change. But why should we do culture change in the first place? Well, maybe you've been there. It's a Saturday morning. You get out of your bed and you go, uh, is it GMM again? Or a webinar again? Or I just need that effing CPD points and you are really not excited. But you need to attend just because you're an officer or you're a friend of the speaker or you need that one CPD points to renew your license. And or better yet, I need to get that external hard drive or that air fryer at the end of the program during the raffle draw. We go to these chapter events as individuals. Our professional lives are not really fulfilled. So here's the thing. If we are in the position to create an organization where somebody can get up in a Saturday morning and go, wow, it's GMM time. It's webinar time, yay! Then you've created not only an organization that will be more successful because your members are more engaged, more excited, but you're also going to create an organization that supports a greater purpose. And let's get through some of the stages of the organizational culture change. And why? We need to know where we are in order to really achieve anything. So, first of all, there are 7, in my own opinion, okay? There are 7 types of real talk, okay, of UAP members. Okay. Number one type of a UAP member, my version, it's the die-hard UAP member. Most of this type of member are former active officers of UAPSA. These are the UAPSA volunteers you often see in front of the registration table in your GMM and stuff, or during the university days, Facebook friends sila ng mga UAP officers, kilala nila yung mga the knows, and then they know about, the district A, B, C, D, during college days pa lang. These are the former students, leaders who are passionate in command and leadership. Then once they enter the UAP, after passing the board exam, they can wait to be part of the chapters, chapter officers, right? Then the system, the tradition are already been injected in their system. They know the protocol and practice of being in the UAP. Most of the time, they are the traditionalists as they go old with UAP. Unfortunately, majority in this category are becoming the elitist or exclusive. But some, they just love being with UAP. Now, the second type of UAP member, my version, is that, wait for it, the royalty member. They are the types of member that discreetly identifying themselves as the cream of the crop. We often see them in the first row, first row table, the VVVIP tables. They are the last member to arrive and the first member to leave kasi, may another engagement or busy lang or nag-drop by lang to say hi, are you still with me? Now, the third type of UAP member is the saktong cool member lang. This type of member are considered the regular member who pays dues on time, who attends to almost all the events, who follow what the majority or the die-hard UAP members decides, but not really into policy making or decision making. The fourth type of member is the regular basher member. Yeah, regular basher members. Meaning They are actively or silently participating to UAP or chapter events, but enjoying to be different and political. This is the type of members who keeps on complaining about the leadership, the system, the program, and even the food. Masyadong maalat. Nung panahon ko, hindi ganito, hindi ganyan. In this category, most of the time, they are the members who lost in the election. Some of them are, the former die-hard UAP member na na-transform. And sometimes they are, they are planning to have their own chapter, another new chapter, ladies and gentlemen. I've been there. In fact, I became this type of member at some point in time. And I'll tell you more about this later. The fifth type of a member, my own version, I have a lot of barkadas like this who are in this category. The hoarder member, a type of member who attends the seminars, workshops, GMM, and exhibitions for the sake of, wait for it, freebies. They love to collect t-shirts, mug, umbrella, bumabawi lang sa mga membership dues na binayad nila. And most of the time, they stay longer than the others during the event because they are waiting for the raffle draw. That's it. They are the one of the main reason why most of the chapters are forced to give or lure these members with free shirts and raffles just for them to attend. Most of them, they really don't care about the program. And some, yeah, they do. Now, two more. The sixth type of member is the no choice member. They don't have any choice but to attend. They need to attend because they need the CPD points. Oftentimes, this member doesn't know what is bylaws, what is the UAP hymn, or they don't have any idea who is the current national president or the national treasurer, perhaps. You will see them during the renewal of their PRC IDs. And they are the one who keeps on praying, kailan na kaya ma-abolish itong AYOKO and CPD? Galit na galit kay Trillanes. They are the one who keeps on complaining about the fees. Wala na naman ako napapala dyan, puro party, party, party. But they don't have any choice. Lastly, we have the awakened members. Sidebar. I can say 98% of our members belong in this type. Close sidebar. This type of member usually belong to the other types of the members and later had a realization of the real benefit and importance of a strong UAP. This is the type of member who unlock the power of being in the UAP. They are more engaged. They are proud to be called a UAP member. These members proudly posting, resharing, and professionally engaged with topics related to UAP. They make sure they are all in the, they are all in the active list of the UAP. Why? Because they are fully aware that being in this group elevates them professionally. Being in this active list, clients, employers, developers, and people around them, they know that, once you're in that list, they know that these people are up to date with the latest trends, they are competitive, and they belong to a group who is respected in the professional world. They keep on mentioning to their colleagues that they are a member of UAP. And they are so proud when these Americans, British, Emiratis, Jordanian, Australian, AIA, and RIBA members, started asking them, how to become a UAP member. Foreigner asking how to become a UAP member. Is UAP member accepting, non-Filipinos? just like the AIA and VIBA as, international associates. True story. Happens all the time. Sidebar. Did you know that before, previously, not in my term, previously, we are giving certificates of recognition to UAP members who recently joined the AIA? What on earth is that? Imagine recognizing your own members because they become a member of the same type of professional organization. What the heck? Some people even posting AIA membership certificates in their social media, and comments are flooding how great they are, how proud they are. Seriously, you don't have any idea how much these AIA peeps, respect UAP members. But now, awakened members, the 98% that we have, started tagging themselves to the current list of UAP members. When was the last time you wear your UAP pin in an event in the office? They started showing to their social media world that they belong to UAP. I am a global Filipino architect. Awakened member comes to GMM and events to network, to support, to engage, not to yabang their projects, not to yabang their new car, not to yabang their credentials, because they knew in UAP, we are all equal. We are all architects. Sidebar, did you know that for the past 3 years, we don't have VIP table, except during GMM where we need to have like the presidential table as part of the protocol of the UAP. But the rest, no, no VIP. Even our ambassador needs to, sit in the middle table with the officer. Even the officers are just sitting in the middle of the hall. We are showing our membership that we are one with you. We are all equal. Even our speakers. I remember I need to brief architect Robert Sack when he was one of our guest speaker here, that he will be sitting in the middle because we don't have any we don't have any VIP table in the front. The awakened members are the members who knows and trying to know other members. They network, they volunteer, they have respect to our other colleagues. They see the bigger picture of UAP, what it means to be a UAP to their profession. Majority of them at some point was a silent basher of the organization until they had this realization of, instead of bad mouthing the organization, as it's also affect our whole membership. But why not fix it and join the culture change, the revolution? Tanong, alin ka dyan? Now, after defining what type of members, let's now check which stages are we in the organization culture level. The first level is the safe mode. Okay, the culture of the chapter, it's in the safe mode. This is where the organization is in the safest, as per the norm, as per the standard, as per the tradition, as per the elders practice mode. They are already doing something. They are already good. They have members coming in every year. We have yearly programs established by our chartered officers. The continuity is fine. Why do we need to change anything? Come on. We are all doing okay. Member comes to GMM. They are participating in the event. Why do we need to do extra? It's fine. Innovation doesn't really happen. Why? People are complacent. This has been normal on how this organization works. This is what the elders already set for us, what can we do? This program has been named for from that guy or this guy. We don't want to hurt their feelings. We end up in a life, in an organization of just normal, never really kind of reaching for anything bigger, never really feeling the potential of extra valuable. Why? Because we have accepted being normal. Now, the next level of culture evolution is the brand congruent culture. So you've got your brand, right? The global Filipino architect, or whatever that brand is, whatever that brand your organization is doing. Maybe it's a service, maybe it's a product, or you go like, whoa, this is such a cool thing. Did you know that I belong to this group? Oh yeah, that's my organization. And I am a member of that since like what, ages. Kahit kakasali lang. We are the global Filipino architects, the keeper of the best. All our members are updated with the latest trends. We are the competitive ones, the game changer, the super cool architects. People are excited. Why? Because they believe in what they are doing. And this is more innovation because there are more innovation because, they always want to improve on the system, on the service, on the product, the organization itself. They are always thinking new ways and throwing ideas around because they are invested in what this organization is trying to do. Now, the highest level of culture evolution is the leadership enriched culture. See, oftentimes we wonder what the leader is supposed to do. Leader's supposed to do, to tell you what to do, so you do it. Maybe in the beginning, yeah. But you need something, but at the end of the day, do you really want somebody constantly telling you what to do? Have you ever had any ideas that you knew would be really great, but nobody listens to you? And so the leadership enriched culture is one with the leaders that leaves their egos in their pockets. I know it sounds impossible, but when these leaders develop other leaders, then it doesn't matter who's doing what. The only things that matter is the objective, what we are trying to achieve. And this gives us the opportunity for everyone in the organization to have a sense of value, a sense of possibilities in their career. For even the new members that, to come and say, hey, I have this idea, a really cool idea, and people listen to them. And even this new member in the organization can take charge of something if they just happen to be more expert on that area, on that field than the chapter president or the president. So the leadership enriched culture develops and cultivate leaders. Leaders who are excited about the program, the vision, excited about the organization. And the people will take charge, never waiting for anything, never waiting for people to tell them what to do. But it depends on how you do how you do it. How do you evolve our culture? The first thing that you gotta do is to know where you are. Where is your culture now? What type of member you have? The awakened? The basher? Does it make sense? You have to have a starting point before you can go to the next level. Earlier today, I told you I was once a regular basher member, but the silent one. I kept on complaining about the useless program. I am a critic of the endless events, parties, bowling tournaments, while the current issues of the membership was not being addressed, in my own opinion. Let me tell you a story because UAP Dubai has been here for like 10 years. So, 9 years back, tumakbo akong presidente ng UAP Dubai. I have the vision, the plan para sa Global Filipino Architects back then. And then, talo ako sa election. So, ang nasabi ko lang sa sarili ko, okay, sige, yan pinili nyo, sige, as you wish. So, I diverted my time and energy to other organization who believes in me. Saktan ako nun eh. I became a part of the AIA Middle East until they asked me to be part of the board later on. All my visions, aspirations, I gave it all to AIA at the time. I even doubled the numbers of the membership. AIA Middle East became alive because of the help of that one Filipino guy. Until the Council on Tall Buildings and Urban Habitat noticed that guy and asked him if he can represent Dubai and the UAE to the council, which was being represented by country leaders around the world. While my own UAP, the UAP that I'm supposed to love, who's representing me, us, the Filipino architects, or what? Became like a social club. Basketball here, videoke there, drafting works here, upgrading our members to be what? Endless CAD training, draftsman, back of the house. While on the other hand, I am in the AIA fighting for equality, social justice, climate change, business deals, protecting the Americans, architects and its associates. Those kind of level of discussion. Then, I told this story to our past national president before when, I visited him. This was like 5 years ago. Here it goes. I think 5 years ago, before I run, when I'm about to run the presidency here in Dubai, I attended the NatCon, first ever NatCon, and true story. Matindar ako na NatCon, and then naramdaman ko doon, first time, the politics, yung campaign, it's too personal, it's too political na pang Philippine politics. And then, sabi ko, and from there, sabi ko, what the heck? I had enough. So, hindi naman ako pang national muna eh, di ba? So, sabi ko, this needs to stop somewhere. So, sabi ko, it's about time. And so I went back to Dubai, okay, after the NatCon, and then I informed AIA and CTBUH that I will be, going back to, UAP and try to run as the president and fix it. So here in Dubai, there is like a meeting, the AVANCE, before the voting, during the election period. And we were given 5 minutes to talk about our plans. And it so happened na may nag-record nung sinabi ko during the campaign. And
okay, 8 years ago, I can still recall, we were at Burjuman Mall together with Architect Virus and Architect Marcita and some of our colleagues, and we were discussing of bringing UAP to Dubai. There were 3 main reasons why we decided to form UAP Dubai chapter at that time. 1, we wanted to be updated with the current trends, building laws, and its procedure to the Philippines. How much is the construction cost? How much is the building permit fees? We still want to practice our profession in our home country anytime. 2, we wanted our licenses to be updated and processed. 3, we wanted to build connections and network with our fellow kabayan architects in Dubai. A support system that will allow us to comfort and help each other in times of crisis. We are young, single, and away from our families. At that time, most of us are being exploited by our employers, harassed by our employers, and others are fortunate enough to land in a well-structured company or even landed on the government offices. We help each other, we support each other, we have each other like a family. Then, we met a group of architect Anilana, who is at that time in the process of forming the UAP Dubai chapter as well, and the rest is history. Fast forward, we believe that those three reasons are still the essence of why there is a UAP Dubai chapter, a chapter that is composed of Filipino architects in Dubai that can still design, plan, and practice architecture in the Philippines. A chapter that is a support system for all Filipino architects. There's no seniority here, there's no chartered members, there's no title. We are all equal. There's no Mr. President, there's no Mr. Sec. We are all equal. We just respect and call each other as professionals, like Architect Cruz or Architect Lopez. We are not going to segregate the members into batches, like Batch Karama or Batch Alibaba. Once you become a member of UAP Dubai, we are one, we are united, we are all equal. At the end of the day, we are all experts here. Now, the series of CPDs, CAD, Revive, Sports Fest, basketball tournaments, they are just fine. But we have a bigger issue to take. With some of us here are losing our jobs now. Some of us here are forced to go back home. Some of us here are still stuck with the same old job and position like 5 to 10 years ago. We need to divert our focus and strategies now to a much more higher level. Now, we are proposing 3 priority programs for this coming fiscal year. 1. Oakland Zero Delinquent in Dubai. 2. The League Finance Program that includes ASEAN and area registration assistance, how to set up your own firm in the Philippines, applying for building permits and refresher course for building codes and regulation in the Philippines. 3. Global Competitive Filipino Architects Program, that's leadership training for all members, not just for the officers, personality development, empowering the members, workshop on developing your communication skills, how to present yourself, producing world-class talks and events. We will make sure that all companies here in Dubai, your HR, your managing directors, your CEOs, will acknowledge with honor the UAP Dubai chapter member as if it is the elite class of the Filipino architects. As we have full respect with your time and money, and don't get me started with that money. I mean, for God's sake, that's our money. Anyway, we will limit our events to 3 to 4 events only. All of us need to spend more time with our kids, with our family during our rest days. But rest assured that those 3 events, or 3 or 4 events, will be totally worth it and world-class level. We don't need change actually. We need direction. A direction towards global recognition and respect, like AIA, RIBA, and CTPUH. It's more than just CAD, Revit, Sports Fest, karaoke, free shirt, or UAP mug. We are all globally competitive Filipino architects here in Dubai, and we need to take advantage of that. The program, leadership, and events of our organization should not only be based by the requirements of our national headquarters based in Manila. They are in Manila. They don't know the struggles we are facing here in Dubai. The program, events, and leadership of our organization should not only be based by the criteria of winning the Best Chapter Awards. Who care about this award? The priority is what you, the Dubai-based Filipino architect, needs now. Now, we are in Dubai, the center of innovation, the game changer. We are supposed to be the elite class of the Filipino architects. We are powerful than we think. It's about time to shift our direction to a much more higher level. It's about time. Thank you.
So, yeah, ramdam na ramdam mo yung frustration ko na nung time na yon. And then yung speech ko na ginawa na yon, that was the pact that we agreed when I won the election. And you know, after that speech, after the election, from 98 members during that time, in a span of 2 weeks, we reached 350 members who came back in a span of 2 weeks. So let me tell you briefly about the first event after I won. Sobrang na-surprise kami sa dagsa ng tao pagkatapos nung it went to like 350 registered during our first event. And sobrang laki niya. we had it in IMAX cinema. So, kasi wala nga kaming pera kasi binaba namin yung membership fee and sabi namin libre na lahat ng events sa buong fiscal year. So, nabigla naman kami na parang ganun, biglang lumaking ganun eh. Laging ang mga events namin, laging 60 lang, 70 ang uma-attend, but then, boom, 350. Hindi ko naman kayang ilagay ito sa mga hotel, di ba? So, we decided, okay, gawin natin ito sa IMAX Cinema. If you want to have something change, go bigger, pero, you know, wala namang catering doon, bumili ka ng sarili mong popcorn and stuff, di ba? Now, we played well strategically dun sa IMAX. We had that first ever town hall meeting wherein we discuss where we are. We discuss with the members kung saan mo gustong pumunta. Tinanong natin yung members natin if anong gusto natin gawin because nandito na tayo. Ina-lift natin yung spirit nila nung time na yon. We had the 8x8 talks wherein 8 people, pinagsalita namin sila for 8 minutes and ang instruction lang doon sa 8 na tao na yon is 4 minutes, iyabang mo yung sarili mo, bakit ka the award-winning designer or award-winning lighting designer or architect na nag-design ng ganito, and then 4 minutes, sabihin mo sa miyembro na how you did it. Ako, kung kaya ko, kaya mo rin. Sobrang yung spirit, tapos yung background music namin noon, yung parang ang galing ng Pilipino, kasing gumagagulgul yan din sa buong IMAX cinema, and then everybody is like, wow, proud na proud ako maging Filipino and stuff. And then at some point, 5 or 6 who approached us after that 8x8 talk. You know what? Umiyak yung member natin sa harap namin. And sinabing, down na down siya sa trabaho, sa problema sa pamilya, sa homesick and stuff. Pero na-uplift daw siya doon sa mga sinabi ng 8 speakers. Nagpapasalamat siya na bumalik yung confidence niya and stuff. And it happened 6 para kaming nag-retreat and naiyak din ako doon. Alam mo yun, bumukas yata yung Pandora's box ko noon eh. Kasi simula naging iyakin na ako. Every event, umiiyak ako. Kasi yung time na yun, nasa IMAX ako, nakatingin ako sa kanilang ganyan. Ang hirap pala nun. Pag ikaw nagsalita doon sa harap ng stage, ng hotel, okay lang. Kasi pantay kayo eh. Pero pag sa sinihan pala, kahit magkamot ka ng ulo or ng ilong, lahat sila nakatingin sa'yo eh. Kaya nakakaba eh. And then, during that time, after naming in-uplift yung spirit ng mga kababayan natin dito, ng mga miyembro natin, that's the time na nag-town hall meeting kami afterwards. Nag-usap kami, mabilisan. Nandito tayo. Bumalik na yung mga dating mga chartered officers or yung members. Nagkita-kita yung before, yung nasa meet, tsaka yung mga bago na hindi naman magkakakilala before. Sobrang, it's like a reunion sa IMAX Cinema. Then, doon kami nag-usap. Anong gusto niyong gawin natin? And this is the plan. And do it. And boom. And the rest is history. 1 week after that event, we reached over 500 people who registered, who came back to UAP. And it so happened, meron kaming natabing video. Ito yung bago ako umiyak. Just a very quick video.
Meeting these people gave me a realization. I believe I earned their respect, not only because I am Christian Vasquez, but I am a Filipino architect. They look up to Filipinos. They trust Filipinos. My fellow architects, magaling ka, ginagalang ka, tinitingala tayo. Being a globally competitive architect takes a lot of guts, but the most important one is starting to believe in yourself. It's about time. It's about time. Magandang hapon po.
And yung saludo na yun yung talagang tumutugtog sa buong magdamag sa amin, and then we uplifted them, and doon, naging iyakin na ako afterwards. Now, why I show you that? Yung ano, hindi naman sa ano parang barbaro, but the thing is, that town hall meeting that we did became our foundation. Once you have that foundation, you'll check where you are. So, are we in the safe mode culture? Are we in the brand congruent culture? Or have we reached on the leadership and rich culture? But now that we know that we are, where we are, in order for us to go to the next level, and whatever strategy you use, are gonna support that. But what strategy do you use? How will you get people involved? How do you get people excited about culture change? I mean, you've been there with all those different initiatives. Everybody's tried all these different things. But why don't they work? Why don't they last? Why they aren't sustainable? And the reason, and one of the biggest reasons, besides the fact that it takes too long, is they do not have the engagement of the people. So the first thing that you got to understand is that it cannot be a top-down initiative. It cannot be that those guys at the top. Think about it. You got like what? 5 people at the top, or maybe you have an office, you have an organization with 1,000 members. 5 people, guys at the top, and it doesn't make sense. 5 guys trying to convince 1,000 people to believe and think the same things that they do? Or is it make more sense to get those 1,000 people to come up with some ideas and convince the 5 people at the top? It has to be a bottom-up initiative. And oftentimes, a lot of organizations in general don't trust their people enough. And it's the people at the bottom, it's the people in the middle, it's the people around interacting, the member who lives life. They know the problem. They know how to solve it. But oftentimes, they don't have a voice. Look, let me ask you, a regular member. All of us here were represented, all of us here are being represented, me also, being represented by, somebody, during the National Board of Directors meeting, NBD meeting. Do you know the person represented you voted for that, yes or no? Is that what you want? Do you know whom your chapter voted for the national president? Is that what your chapter wants? Or your leaders or representative only wants? Do they really representing you? Or they are making their own choices, decision? Politics starts. You are the member. Your voice must be represented. I am the chapter president, but whatever comes in my mouth, the letters I wrote to the national, the decisions I made, is the voice of my member. I am representing them. And the member knows that the power is them. And when you give these people, the members, the voice, when you bring it from the bottom up initiative, that's when things starts to happen. But before that, there are things, pillars, to make these things happen. The whole membership must have a greater purpose. That means you have to have something that everybody in the organization believes in. The whole membership needs to visualize our ideal UAP. You know, probably an organization that uplifts us, an organization that takes us or take care of our welfare, an organization that protects us. Probably it's no-brainer what the greater purpose of having an organization. Nag-organization ka pa. An organization with some kind of a trust. Either trust to the members to do their part, or let them, the members, trust you that you can actually know what you are doing. They have to have some kind of teamwork where they can feel, wow, members are really, out helping each other, supporting each other, because they know a mistake of one is a mistake of everybody. The membership needs to have some clarity. They need to see, okay, I know where we are going. And if you think about it, is it easy to get members to believe that they could achieve the ideal organization? Then that becomes the greater purpose. Because it's not just for them, it's for everybody. It's for the people next to you in the screen. It's not just for yourself, but it's for the organization itself. And so once you have that ideal organization, then you have the greater purpose, something that everybody is working towards. And the next is having a common language. A common language is about being able to communicate things that are big in a small word. For example, there are a lot of buzzwords. There are a lot of things out there that, they're talking about. You can use one or two words or a phrase like the global Filipino architects. And members already know what we are talking about. Pag sinabi mong global Filipino architects, alam na nila yan, the best. Okay, mga upgraded yan, ganyan. Alam mo yun, lalagyan mo na ng meaning yung global Filipino, yung three simple words na yon, pero ang laki na ng impact. And that words keeps reminding that person na umayos ka because you're a global Filipino architect, you're a UAP. Because they understand. Because they know what it means to become a global Filipino architect. They can have a communication without having conflict. With these three words, you remind each person, what's the importance of being an architect, or what they have learned, or what it takes to achieve this greater purpose of the organization. And then we need to have a unified identity. A unified identity is like a club. You have the club. And when you're part of the club, the people in the club are kind of like your bodies. You know who they are. You accept them. You are excited about them. And you work together. You create things together. But there are also other people outside the club. See, to be in the club, this unified identity, the global Filipino architects, and if people are not in the club, then that means they are not really, excited about the culture change, the one that we did. They are not excited about it, the ideal organization. So there are two things that you need to do. You can leave them outside, the club, or you can help them to become the global Filipino architects. And finally, the supportive environment. Members supporting each other. competing with each other professionally. See, I want to tell you, what happened to us when we did this. 3 years ago, when I assumed the presidency, very quickly, we started at IMAX Cinema, right? The town hall meeting. Okay, that's the starting point. We uplift each other. We told each other that, hey, you Filipino architects, you are talented, you are respected, you are one of a kind member. We share the same sentiments of what we want to do as an organization. That's the peak, okay? And then now, you see, at that moment, it was very visible. I mean, super visible result. People are excited. People are like, wow, we are amazing. We're going to be great. And that's about like what, 1 or 2 months, where it became like the talk of the town, members sharing their to colleagues the next day. And then, after a while, people registered, and then we are all shocked. The officers are all shocked. And then that's the adjustment period. We said, okay, this is too much. We have 500 members. We thought we were going to have like 100 or 200 only. So from a span of a month, from 90, we became 500. So we were shocked. So there's an adjustment on that. But because we talk about it, pinag-usapan namin ng mga members, paano ba yan? Wala tayong budget, pero ganito tayong karami, parang ganyan. And the members are the one who suggested, bakit hindi natin gawin na lang muna dito? Hindi na tayo mag-hotel kasi hindi natin kaya dyan. Okay, good. Anong pagkain natin? Hindi na tayo pwede mag-catering. O sige, Jollibee na lang tayo. Yung pinaka meal number 1. Okay lang ba sa inyo yan? Kasi, alam mo nun, mga sanay kayo sa mga catering na ganyan dati eh. Hindi, kaya yan. Okay lang yan. Cool yan. Yung meal number 1 lang. Yung soft drinks. Okay, good. Good. Okay, mga event natin. Bawal ang plastic dun eh. Because we are walking the talk. Nagpapaka-green kami eh. So, walang plastic sa loob. Even sa tao, wala dapat plastic. So, bawal ang mga plastic cups and stuff. Sabi ng isang member, Gito, bakit hindi tayo magdala ng sarili natin mga mug? Imagine that. Pagdalahin mo yung member mo ng sariling mug niya dun sa event. And you know what happened? Nagdala sila ng mug. Dun mo mararamdaman the engagement of the people. They trust the system. They trust the organization. They follow because they know, they have clarity kung ano yung mangyayari. Nagdala sila ng sariling mug kasi hindi namin kaya. Wala kaming pera. Wala kaming sponsor. We don't depend on the fund of the sponsors dito. So, bumili kami kinuha ko yung initan ng tubig sa office namin. Same thing dun sa mga officers and stuff. So, nagtulungan para lang ma-produce yan. Kasi kailangan naming mag-adjust because gusto namin magkaroon ng leadership training. Gusto namin magkaroon ng ganitong workshop para sa aming lahat. So, kailangan namin ilagay yung pondo namin doon para to provide that one. But we adjusted. Members are engaged. Now, pag meron trust, the trust with the leaders, the trust with the organization, the trust with the members, kahit walang CPD points, pumupunta. Kasi kahit hindi naman kailangan nito. But here, we have a realization dito na we need that CPD. We need that continuing education because we have a brand to protect. We are not required to have CPD points here because we are overseas. But we are demanding to have that one for us. Unlike sa iba na parang nagrereklamo about the CPD. Kami dito, hindi kami required pero alam namin yung importante sa amin yan. Now, hindi naman kami kakaiba dyan sa Pilipinas. Hindi kami kakaiba dyan sa Singapore or sa Australia. Pare-parehas naman tayo Pilipino. The way we do it here, probably we can do it there. And finally, yung third quarter and fourth quarter of the fiscal year, okay, it settles. The sustainability is there. 3 years of my term, of of our term, of the Global Filipino Architects, we are still engaged. The members are still there. From what? Mapapansin mo lang from the 10 officers before. You know how many officers we have? First term, 61 officers, 72 officers. The current term, we have 66 officers, volunteer. We call them the volunteer leaders. You know, the volunteer officers who are supporting the organization. We have a minimum of 400 to 500 members attending each and every events and programs we have. We as a group of people, a group of Filipino architects, the global Filipino architects have created, have designed in order to achieve our ideal organization. The success of an organization, it's not about the size of the attendees. Remember that. We are not event organizer. UAP chapter is not an event organizer. We don't check our success with the turnout of attendees. We measure the success to the impact and behavior of each members of each global Filipino architects after the event. Ladies and gentlemen, the impact we did here is not for us alone. It's for all global Filipino architects. It's for all the Filipino architects. As of today, 42 prominent companies, design firms, construction companies, industry partners are requiring a Filipino architect must be a member of UAP as a minimum standard in their companies. International speakers and celebrated architects are lining up just to present in the UAP stage. We don't invite speakers. They apply because they know the power of the organization, of the UAP. The network, it's too powerful. 400 Filipino architects. Sino bang hindi gusto tumayo doon? People recommend people. If sponsors are lining up, hindi namin ina-accept because we are very critical with, with sponsorship. International professional organization requesting to collaborate with us, UAP, including the AIA, RIBA, and CTBH. For them to be successful, they need us. Imagine that. UAP is appearing in the international magazines. And by 2025, all Filipino architects working in the UAE and part of the Middle East will be required to be a member of UAP. It's doable. It's not impossible. We have done it. And the choice is always yours. Now, I'm supposed to, to share you the last video, yung continuation ng first video kanina. But I have a bonus na I did that last night. This is my third and last term as a chapter president. And before I step down and return to my not so normal life, I want to share you my fearless prediction about UAP in the coming years. And I call this the UAP 2040. Eto sa akin lang to ito yung mga napapaniginipan ko kasi i-share ko lang sa inyo bago ako tapusin na yung presentation ko. Tapos na yung presentation. Kumbaga, bonus slide na lang to Alright. In 2040, napanaginipan ko to In 2040, I can see a new UAP logo. To signal a big change. You have to have change, if you want to have change, do it bigger. A new visual identity, implementing to support the UAP priorities. An organization, UAP is evolving to reflect the new 21st century challenges. Architects understand how they communicate, how they communicate meaning. And this logo is, we are committed to change, to development. Ganon. Yung napaniginipan ko lang naman. In 2040, I see a unified logo to all chapters. Baka naman kaya hindi naman tayo United Architects of the Philippines. Lahat tayo, iba-iba logo. The membership had a realization. Napaniginipan ko lang naman to eh. Nung nakita ko yung 2040 na year, we decided to have like a unified identity. We realized that we are one, united, the United Architects of the Philippines. Na-realize natin na hindi tayo basketball team, na we're in a competition with each other to get the best chapter awards. In 2040, a greater vision was set. In my 2040 vision, I see it vividly. Yung lawyer's office nandun na mismo sa loob ng UAP National Building natin. Naanilaga ko lang yan eh. A law firm dedicated to architects, a lawyer for all members. Galing. Assistance sa mga contract dispute, cases, wow. Andun, may isa siyang office dun, noong 2040. In my vision, sa panaginip ko din, meron akong nakita. 3 representatives, party list na nasa Congress. In 2040, UAP engaged in the policy makers in Congress and in DILG on issues that are, important to architects and the communities they serve. May nakita ako directly na naglalabi about dun sa proposed changes sa regulation and sa mga technical guidance sa policy para related sa impact sa built environment. Noong 2040, naaninagan ko din. Nagkaroon pa naman ng Draftsman Association, Philippine Draftsman Association, regulating their members on hanggang saan sila. Mismong UAP pa nga nag-propose yan doon sa panaginip ko. Nagbibigay din sila ng continuing training sa kanila. Sa tagal ng bangayan ng draftsman at Filipino architects sa social media, na-realize na din nila sa wakas ng 2040 na pagtulungan nila yung ganitong bagay, di ba? Ni-regulate nila yung technical draftsman, di ba? Noong 2040, narinig ko rin yun yung dun sa panaginip ko, merong GMM na nangyayari. Dun 2040. Ang pinag-uusapan nila tungkol dun sa, zero carbon na initiative ng UAP. Na kailangan lahat ng design ng mga arkitekto by year 2050, kailangan zero carbon na lahat ng mga bahay na ginagawa nila. Resilient, healthy, para equitable built environment. Kalain mo, narinig ko pa doon ang pinag-uusapan nila, yung mga issues tungkol sa, inequality. Ganong mga level ng usapan, Hindi na yung usapan tungkol sa sino kumarakot nito, sino kumarakot niyan. May awakening na yung members ng 2040. Take note, the largest design organization tayo sa buong mundo. Yun yung nakita ko na 2040. May nadidinig na ako tungkol dun sa monthly town hall meeting nila na ginagawa ng mga chapters nila dun sa barangay level, dun sa grassroots. Pinag-uusapan nila dun sa barangay doon ng bawat chapter, pinimit nila yung mga community leaders doon. Kung anong pwedeng gawin doon sa sidewalk, sa mga community. Napapakilala nila na hindi lang tayo pang mga building, mga towers. Naisip na nagkaroon sila ng idea ngayon, ng awakening. Nagkaroon pati ng awakening, pati yung pati yung mga clients. Kaya alam na nila na kung saan sila pupunta, kanino sila magpapapirma. Kasi sa komunidad pa lang, remind na sila kung anong trabaho natin. Kita ko din, ang babata ng mga leadership, 2040, mga palaban, mga awaken Naaninagan ko rin to Eto, hindi ko sinasadya, pero nakita ko lang to sa panaginip ko. May isang UAP headquarters lang, isa lang nakita ko Kasi nag-walk the talk ang organization, di ba? Paperless. Kasi green building tayo ng green building, net zero para sa planet and stuff, but still we're using papers. Pero noong 2040, naayos na nila yon. Kaya nga, hindi na ni-require ng mga ibang mga satellite mga offices eh. Kasi nga, remote na lahat eh. Online transaction na lahat. Mobile na lang ginagamit mo para makapag-update ka ng mga membership and stuff mo. Di ba? Tapos, imbes na ang mga pupunta lang dyan is yung mga lawyer eh. Di ba? Pupuntahan mo yung lawyer mo kasi nandun yung office ng lawyer eh. Nang para sa mga lahat ng architect eh. Naaninagan ko lang yan. Nakita ko isang United Architects of the Philippines. Yung United na wala na rin ako nakita na iba eh. Yung AP lang nakita ko eh. Hindi ko alam kung ano ibig sabihin nun. Now, that's my 2040 prediction. Panaginip. Siguro baka yun yung gusto ko rin mangyari eh. So, 2040. Ilang taong ka niyan? Plus 20. Ilang taong ka ngayon? Plus 20. Nakaka-drawing ka pa ba? Nun? Yung project ka pa ba nun? Bakit kailangan pa nating hintayin yung 2040? Kung kaya naman nating magkaisa now. Nasa sayo yan. Global Filipino Architect.
Please watch and enjoy! Ayoko na. Tama na. Nakakapagod na din kasi. Bata pa lang ako, lahat ng gusto kong mangyari, kailangan mangyari. Walang joke. Inip na inip ako kay Father noon tuwing linggo sa misa. Abot ang aking dasal na sana'y matapos na ang sermon niyang paulit-ulit. Hindi na ako makapaghintay na masilayan yung nakasabit na Ninja Turtles na action figure sa tindahan doon sa paglabas ng simbahan. Talaga namang antitik ko doon sa laruang yun na halos muntik na akong magkaroon ng special powers para lang tawagin ang mga hanging habagat at amihan upang palaglagin si Donatello sa aking mga kamay. Hindi na ako makapaghintay iyabang iyon sa aking mga kalaro. Pilit akong nililihis ng daan ni Mami at Papa para hindi na ako mangulit magpabili. Pero lingid sa kaalaman ng aking mga magulang. Ako, si Christian Romulo Vasquez, ang umimbento ng salitang determination. I arrived in Dubai in 2006 to work as an architect in a consultancy firm. Trained by the best architect back home. I must say, I well represented the Filipino here as a true professional. Mula necktie, pantalon, long sleeves, buhok, planchado yan. Tapos first week sa trabaho dito, as a licensed architect, ay mag-cut ng board at mag-scan ng document. Minsan, may bonus pa yung pa-photocopy. Halos pagtinginan na ako ng mga kasamahan ko dito sa opisina. Ramdam na ramdam ko yung bungis-ngis at hakikik nila. Alam mo yun, pag may bago kang pasok na ka-opisina, na sobrang ayos, na walang idea na pwede naman pala t-shirt at maong lang ang isuot. But no, I was trained by my former mentor to be a professional who serves other professionals. It's a philosophy more than just a concept. My job might not be what I am expecting for when I was imagining myself working abroad back in college. But I need to stay focused and think how will I make myself, my family, my friends, my country proud. To become a more valued, relevant, global Filipino architects, not just in the Middle East, but in the entire world. And that's my Donatello. Isip ng isip, paikot-ikot, at hindi mapakali. Kailangan ngayon na, hindi bukas, hindi mamaya, at higit sa lahat, hindi sa Pasko. Dahil Marso pa lang. Naiintindihan mo yun? Pagbaba ng sasakyan, nagmamadali kong pinuntahan si Santo Niño, doon sa may altar. Nakipag-usap at nangakong ibabalik ko rin naman agad-agad sa susunod na pasukan. Grade 2 na ako noon. Tataas na ang aking baon for sure. Dahan-dahan kong kinuha yung maliit na bag ni Santo Niño at umasang meron sanang papel na nakatiklop sa loob. Inulit ko, nagpaalam ako at ibabalik ko rin naman. Wala. Walang papel. Hindi aabot na pambili ng Scrabble sa may kanto. Isip ng isip ulit, paikot-ikot, hindi mapakali. I work more than I paid for. I work beyond my scope. I realigned my path where I wanted it to be. From a 3D graphic guy, I volunteered myself to do minutes of meeting with the client, and then I showed my skills, my capability. I owned it. Soon later, I'm meeting the clients alone. Parang sinigang lang yan.
Dagdagan mo ng angas para umasim. Konting power dressing para lumasa yung baboy. Tapos, iserve mo na mainit. Pag new job, new environment, it's a chance for you to reinvent yourself. Nasa sa'yo yun. But, if you just want to be what your company wants you to be, or sa buhay, or if you will let other people around you dictates what you needs to do and what you needs to become, if ganun, then sila na lang sana yung gumamit ng buhay mo. Sa'yo yan. Isang beses lang yan. Laro mo yan eh. That's your life. After 14 years, I'm still in Dubai. As a business development executive, I'm also representing Dubai in the Council on Tall Buildings and Urban Habitat. I'm one of the directors at the American Institute of Architects Middle East and the president of the United Architects of the Philippines, Dubai.
Di mapakali, paikot-ikot at isip ng isip. Paano ko makukuha yung laruan na gusto ko? Grade 1 pa lang ako nun. Inuntsaba ko na si Santo Niño pero hindi aabot pera namin eh. Ayoko namang isama yung kapatid ko si Jaja. Saksakan ng sumbongera yun. Hindi mapakali, paikot-ikot at isip ng isip. Nang biglang, aha! Alam ko na. Kailangan daanin na to sa matinding drama. Sinimulan kong umiyak sa may sala. Tapos sa kwarto nila mami. Sa may labas ng pintuan ng CR habang naliligo si Papa. Sa may terrace habang may bisita sila. Walang tigil na kakahiyaw hanggang mapatid na ang litid ko sa leeg. Mula umaga hanggang hapon, yes, kinarir ko yung acting skills ko. Para sa batang tulad ko, that's what you call determination. Tick, tock, tick. Ilang minuto na lang, magsasara na yung tindahan ng laruan dun sa may simbahan. Wala na akong poses pero pilit pa rin ang aking pag-iyak na wala ng luha. Hanggang boom! Bumigay na yung aking ama at sabi, tara na nga! And again, that's determination.
You know, politics was once a term with an array of broadly positive connotations associated with public scrutiny, deliberation, and accountability. Yet today, it is an increasingly dirty word, typically synonymous with duplicity, corruption, inefficiency, and a due process. Ang isang pagiging leader na pag-aaralan yan, ginugusto yan. Ang UAP o the United Architects of the Philippines na isang organisasyon na kaduktong na ng bawat bituka ng bawat arkitekto Pilipino. Malaki ang tungkulin ng UAP sa buhay naming mga arkitek mula sa pananatili ng aming integridad. Ito yung malakas na kasangkapan upang maitaas pa at maipakilala sa buong mundo kung sino tayo at kung gaano tayong kagaling. Sa 10 taong ko dito sa Dubai, tingin ko may dapat pang gawin. Ayoko na. Tama na. Ayoko nang hanggang dun lang tayo. Tama nang wala tayong gawin. Nakakapagod din naman kasing dun lang tayo sa santabi. We're in Dubai, the center of innovation, the game changer, and we need to take advantage of that. May mas mataas pa akong pangarap para sa mga Pilipino arkitekto dito. Magaling tayo, maasahan tayo, at hindi tayo basta-basta. Kaya nabanggit ko nun, it's about time.
At tumakbo ako nun bilang maging pinuno ng mga arkitektong Pilipino sa Dubai. If I want to bring you somewhere, whatever it takes, I'll take you there with me. Sinimulan ko yung unang linggo ko sa posisyon sa pakikipag-usap sa mga CEOs at directors ng mga kumpanya dito sa Dubai upang ipakilala kung sino tayo at ano tayo. Hindi natin tinantanan mula umaga hanggang hapon bago magsara ang tindahan ng laruan doon sa may simbahan. Hanggang mailagay natin ang pangalan ng UAP 124 Dubai sa international stage, sa Center of Innovation, the game changer, ang Dubai. Never before have we needed this level of bold, visionary leadership to inspire Filipino global architects to work together and build a better world for all the people. For over 2 decades, the Filipino Registered Licensed Architects and its allied professionals in the UAE has been involved in the nation's building through various sectors of the design and construction industry that highlights the highest level of competency, reliability, and dedication. Pero hindi dapat dyan nagtatapos ang lahat. We still need to continue and do our part. Global Filipino architects needs to maintain the professional growth and global competitiveness. We already set the standard. Keep it there. Papunta na kami sa tindahan para bilhin yung Donatello action figure. Siyempre, dapat tuloy pa rin yung pag-iyak ko at pakikbi. Baka mahalatang nagdadrama lang ako eh. Pabilis ng pabilis yung tibok ng puso ko. habang ilang hakbang na lang dun sa may tindahan. Flashback na yung mga sigaw, iyak at luha kong ininvest para makarating sa aking kinatatayuan. Nakayuko ako habang hatak-hatak ako ng tatay ko. Kunwaring ayaw ko pa. Siyempre, stick to the script. Nang napansin kong huminto na kami, alam ko na si Donatello ay nasa aking harapan. Slow motion ko pang tiningala upang masinagad si Donatello na nakasabit sa istante. Wala na si Donatello, nabili na.